for watching this episode of Original Guys Worldwide TV podcast. You know, it's your host, Kingmaly. You got my co-host right here,
Triple Force.
Supreme King, Britain, Triple Four to God. You feel me? We out here.
Absolutely, brother.
You feel me? So, on this episode, we're going to be talking about my new book release, Labels Are Limits, Embracing the Essence of Life. And we just going to, have a conversation, man. We're just going to have a conversation.
First, congratulations on brother, man, for dropping the Labels Or Limits. I mean, I'm just gonna say this: there's some biblical messages in there. It's revelation, so you definitely got to tap in and grab that. But this is the first verse. He already laid the foundation, the blueprint on the first book, literally. So then he coming with the Labels Or Limits. So I don't see, depending on where your spirit is. I ain't gonna tell you which one to read in order. Everybody different, but you got to grab that one first if you want the blueprint. But go ahead and get the Labels Or Limits and quit putting limits on your life. You heard 999 God just wrote the master.
Hey, he cooked. Hey. See, and that's why I love my brother being the co-host, because if I'm not right here, he can just sit right here and talk to it. It's just like me sitting right here. You feel me? So
for real.
I appreciate the other beautiful words you just said.
For sure.
So when it comes to labels being limits, what does that mean to you when you see that? What do you think when you think about labels being limits?
Bondage, depending on the labels, because sometimes we can be loyal to a fault. Sometimes we be slave to our loyalty because of a title. Labels, mom, girlfriend, brother, friend, best friend, day ones. You understand? They all be labels, but that don't mean that you resonate with that person. And sometimes we can be slaves to our loyalty, and that's why sometimes people drain out. Sometimes people exhaust themselves because of these labels, and it's limits to them. Instead of, sometimes you got to detach, learn order detachment. And labels are real bondage. This is really real. That's why labels are limits for real. And that was beautiful as revelation, that because this is really real. Like sometimes people can't grasp the real essence of life because of a label. They can't see certain things in certain people because of a label. No, spirits are spirits. You feel me?
Nah, that's real talk. That's real talk. So yeah, go deeper into what you just said, because that's that. I talk about that. Go deeper to what you just said, man. You cooking,
man. Listen, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. This is revelation. I'm telling you from a spirit, bro. Like no BS. And I ain't even read the book yet, though. I ain't gonna give too much. I ain't read the book yet, but I know I felt the revelation in it because bro, spoke on it. But it's self-explanatory, literally. Like, and I'm not saying going and turning on your friend, but just look at life for what it is. Take things, people. Yes. So like I say, labels are limits, and sometimes depending on the person mentality, on where they are, sometimes labels can be at a fault. It can be it can kind of be a detriment on your journey, on your path, because of the things that we don't detach from because of the title. We all governor. Our soul is governed by spirits. Soul is to be protected. It's the shield. Spirits are the shield. That's why you can rise in frequency. You can drop in frequency. You got to be observant of yourself. So when you rise in frequency, that's that spirit. That's why you want a clean spirit to govern your soul. Because souls get tainted. That's why when people do things for money, or lose your soul, you taint your soul. You can have a high spirit, but you still gonna remember the soul. You're still gonna remember things you want to do. So protect your soul with clean spirits. And how to do that is understanding the whole aspect of life. How to do that is crack the code on labels or limits. Just take things for what it is, because everybody's battling things. So, for example, we guys go through things, right? Women go through things too, right? So this ain't don't misconstrue my words. This is no sexist thing. So that's guys. I might be going through things with a shorty or wife. I can see everything she's doing wrong, but my mom is an angel. She don't do no wrong whole time. She probably doing the same thing, but I'm gonna turn a blind eye. So I'm really not grasping life what it is.
Ooh, because just because that's your mother, you can look at her as an angel because that's your mother, because she's your mother. She holds that title as the mother. But if you ain't able to look at her objectively outside of just the mother title, you ain't able to see her negative flaws because she's your mother. She holds that title of the mother. So you ain't able to see her true negative nature because you're close to her and that's your mother. But just because that's your mother doesn't mean she doesn't have negative ways or vindictive ways or wrong ways or arrogant ways because she's your mother. Man, that was powerful, brother.
For sure,
powerful.
brother. And that so, and just by law, you're not true to yourself if you're gonna sweep that under the rug and then convict someone else. You're not true to yourself, and you're not being really true. I'm a right for real type of person, even with family. Like I'm righteous. When you're righteous, it's righteous, and then it's not righteous. I don't really have a certain, my vocabulary ain't that goddamn strong. Triple nine God vocabulary strong, so he can give you the word. Mine ain't. So take it what it is. You know what I mean? Righteous or not, it ain't no in betweens. So like I don't sugarcoat anything. For example, I love my family. I'm not gonna put a label. I'm gonna take it for what it is. I ain't gonna bash them. No, you don't have to bash nobody. Just take it for what it is. Understand the game. Life is a game. Understand it. And we, as especially as us, bro, y'all black people, the labels be limits, man, because we come from poverty. So we think it's love in the hood in the street whole time. We all built off survival. So whole time, how can it really be love if every success story got saying, "Oh, I had to detach"? So I always say this: it is a little bit of love in the hood, but it's really not. It's also like I'm from the street. I'm from the trench of the bottom girl. So what? I can say that. So and I'm just really real because it's time to break the bullshit. It's time to break the habits. It's time to listen. Supreme Triple Four is the most high granted me the name, so I gotta hold on to my honors. So I cracked the code on the labels or limits, and I still love people. And I always say I'm really real. Most I tell me to don't talk to you until you rise in frequency. I'm gonna crack that label because I ain't gonna hold my limits.
Crack that leg, that ain't gonna hold my leg.
Make sure y'all go cop this book, man. For real, it's revelation in the shit.
Nah, real talk. And I gotta ask you a question. So, because we talked about the labels being limits, but what does it mean to embrace the essence of life? When you talk about embracing the essence of life, what does embracing the essence of life mean to you?
Embracing the essence of life means to me, man, it's really understanding all aspects and angle of life. Try not to be one perspective. Try to put yourself in as many shoes as possible before you're gonna convict people, places, and things. There's always something deeper. There's always something deeper to why people do things. It's for every consequence is a reaction. For example, I ain't got road rage. For example, be prepared for whatever you do. Meaning, like, if you got road rage, you go out there hollering in your mouth, you ain't got no gun in the car, and that man, you don't know what type of day he had. You blowing at him could trick him off. He got a gun, you lost. Because guess what? You reacted out of emotion and you ain't prepared for war. So that man had a gun, and then what you gonna do? You blew your horn, boom, boom, boom. You lost. Understand life. Understanding life is understanding the game of life. Understand every aspect. For every reaction, there's a counter reaction. Like I told you about, goddamn it, that ain't how it go, but you get the picture. Understand everything. Understand what you put out, what you get back. So always try to do good. You know, have boundaries too, because that's why good-hearted people exhaust themselves. Don't stop the flow of love. Just know who to love. So, and that goes with the limit. Some people are you just keep draining yourself because of a label. That's man. That's my day one. I've been with him for 5 years. They just labels 5 years. Listen, man, that's bondages. If people understand the law of attraction, energies, frequencies, vibrations, most high, first of all, they will understand the game of life. People try to play this motherfucker without the instructions. Go play Monopoly. If you ain't never played it without the instructions, you ain't gonna do it. Go do a puzzle without seeing, you ain't gonna do it. You can't do life that either. So labels are limits, man, and it starts there.
Nah,
it's a cheat code, and that's my view on the essence of life.
That was powerful. That was powerful, man, and that's what it's about. What you just said, you really just broke it all the way down. That's why I said that's why he the co-host, because if I'm not here cooking or talking about things, he bring a lot of aspects or insights that be within my mind to the forefront. Sometimes when I don't feel like talking, working, or whatever, my brother right there, man. You know, and he's sitting in that main seat too.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna hold you. And I had to embrace him. Because he's on flow, and that's really his purpose. He, do the single thing. So, and that's okay. We got to understand it. I like to keep him tapped in. So sometimes you do a little solo drops because you got to stay connected. It's a 999 God. He connected. I'm the 444 God, but I can do healing and therapy. But guess what? He's on inflow too. So when you see him, like, man, I'm on original God's inflow. He's on original God's inflow. When you see the 444 God, you see the 999 God. When you see the 999 God, you see 444. But they gonna be we on different things. Meaning like, okay, don't feel a certain type of you can't get in contact with him because he got to go into solitude. You too. He might not have as many guests in this platform for original guys. You gotta listen.
And
You
then when
gotta
you
be an
think about
original
it,
God.
he did 344 God, I'm 999 God. We think about 9 plus 4, that's 13
plus 1 is 4.
4. So we all back to the 4.
The 4 foundation, man, structure.
Real
Most high.
Earth, air, wind, and fire, like the 4 elements. Big foes. You feel me? And I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
What does essence mean? When you think about essence, what do you think about?
That's a good question, brother. When I think about essence, bro, it's really like the spirit, your natural aura, your essence, man. It's really something you can't fake. It's you can't fake this like energy. It's you know what? It's just energy. It's not even vibrational fruit. It's your energy of your essence, your energy. Because you can cultivate your energy into whatever vibrational frequency you're on. If you want to understand the game, first start with energy. Then, because it's about the consistency of something. So if my energy fucked up, then my essence is gonna be dark. It's gonna get me on the lower vibrational playing field. If I'm on that motherfucker, I'm on hell frequency. You see how it's in order. So do the opposite. You of love and of light. You do that consistently, and you're gonna be on a abundant love. You're gonna be on these frequencies. It's still levels for, but you're gonna be on a higher frequency of heaven. So yeah, that's what essence means to me. It's something you can't fake. It's really the spirit. It's not even the soul. It's the spirit, because the essence of the aura. Because you can always change it. When you're in a dark place, you get out of that. We all go through things, so forgive yourself. But that's the essence. Your essence. You can't be fake. It's your energy.
That's powerful. That's beautiful, brother. And why should people know what essence is? Why should people understand the importance of seeing essence or identifying essence? Why should they do that?
Because that's what you're freely gonna see on that's what you're gonna see. That's what you're gonna see in your realm. We all are the main characters in our life. So if you're always seeing negative things, your essence is dark. You gotta clean it up. It's like a dirty room. You gotta clean that shit up. You can't run from it. Like, you can cap all you want. You can, I'm doing this, I'm healing, or let's say people go to church, and this have nothing to do with religion. I'm just using it for an example. Let's say you go to church every Sunday, but if you're not really doing the work and trying to tap into the Most High, you just going. You're really not changing. You have to want to change. We are not perfect, but you really have to change. That's how you see different things and go on another frequency. Frequencies are high, man. You and if you observe it enough, you're gonna go on it. Other than that, make peace with where you at, because it's on you to really do the inner work. I don't care how long you did something. Make sure you're doing the work, because God gonna give you grace. Are you getting yourself grace, or are you just capped out? Are you really doing this for an image? Or are you really just doing this to bypass things? Or are you really trying to save your soul? Clean your spirit up, man, and everything will change.
And when we speak also, when we're speaking about them knowing the importance of essence, how when it comes to relating to other people, or knowing other people, or seeing other people, how important is it to know what an essence is when it comes to dealing with people?
Cause so good question, man. Let me just say that right. It's very important, because once you really tap into the essence, you can start discerning of different energies on what you encounter. So you can kind of pinpoint, I don't want to be around that. It's essence. It's the aura. The vibe. You can kind of discern a little bit more, understanding the essence, and once you understand the essence of people, then you'll know, okay, you'll know your limits and your balances on where to be, who to be around, what to take, what not to take. Then you can live your life accordingly and how you want it, at peace. That's the goal, is peace. Once you understand the essence of life, you will be at peace. For example, I know I keep a balance in my life. If I'm gonna party with some strippers, goddamn, I know I'm gonna party with them, but I ain't gonna be there 7 days a week. I might just be there an hour. That's real. You feel me? Because I don't want to get into that frequency realm. But I support, if that's
that's powerful. That's powerful.
Because I accept. I don't judge.
Yeah, and I don't judge neither. But the thing about it is, like, you talked about the strippers and the essence, things of that nature. Like there ain't no judge for strippers, but it's like when you around that energy so much, that can affect your essence, and you live by way of a lustful essence or a lustful energy. And then the more, like, we are people of habit, so the more you around that lustful energy, that lustful atmosphere, then your essence becomes lustful, and you stay in your lower nature, because you are you are messing with strippers or being in a sexual environment, and when
Mm-hmm.
you in that space of that sexual environment too much, you can subconsciously identify with that because we are people of habit. So the more you're around that type of energy, the more you become that because we are people of habits. You
Exactly,
see what I'm
brother.
saying?
For
So
sure.
even when we were speaking about why I asked you that question about
Mm-hmm.
why people should know the importance of the essence when it comes to people, because when you know the essence of people, like the energy that people carry,
Mm-hmm.
the energy that a person carries is a reflection of the state of their soul. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? So
Facts.
when you understand the essence of somebody, um, when you understand the essence of a person, and when you understand the essence of a person, um, like it's like when you think about essence, it's like the energy you feel from somebody when you meet them or when you're around them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that essence of that person is. You know, people will try to talk their way out of you seeing them different.
Mm-hmm.
People will try to do certain things so you can see them different. But the
Mm-hmm.
reality of it is, no matter what a person do or what they say, the energy you feel off the person, that's their essence. So
Mm-hmm.
if you look past a person's essence and you listen to the words they say or what they do and you miss the essence of the person, then it's like they trap you in this prison of manipulation. And when they trap you in this prison of manipulation, it's like you got a double consciousness when you're dealing with these people. Like it's like on one side you know it's something off about them, but on the other side they might say these sweet words or they might
Mm.
do certain things for you, so you might think they're not negative, but the reality of it is they truly are negative because that's what their essence is projecting. They might say certain things so you can look at them differently, but that energy you feel from them, that doesn't lie. You see what I'm saying? So
Facts.
don't allow people to talk your head off to make you look at them different when in reality, the essence that they carry or their energy that they disseminate to you already told on themselves. It
Mm-hmm.
already tells you who they are by the energy you feel from them. So when you feeling that energy from them, don't allow these sweet words to lie to you, or don't allow your mind to play tricks on you to lie to you and make you look at them different.
Mm.
Um, Outside of the essence that you felt when you were around them or when you
Facts.
are around
Facts. Man, he just cook. Hey, bro, you
them.
just cook, man. Listen, man, because
Appreciate
what
that.
he's saying is absolute truth for women. That's why y'all have intuition. Don't ignore it. That's God talking to y'all. He talking subtle ways. The essence of the energy. You know, you gotta grasp that because that's where the illusions come from. Because we already know the demonic realm is the art of confusion. So like you don't want to get caught up in that shit. So read them essence, and that's the and that can change based on your frequency. So that's why it's always be consistent. Yeah, matter for example, be observant enough. Build yourself to that stage. For example, I can be depressed for a day. I'm gonna acknowledge it. I'm depressed today. I'm gonna eat all the depressing things, but tomorrow I'm change. You don't want to be consistent in being depressed because that's when you go down the rabbit hole and you go on the frequency of depression. And the more you go, the more you drop, there's hell state. There's levels of hell. There's levels of hell. There's levels of heaven.
God.
There's only 1 or 2 levels of neutral. But even then, that's moving because it ain't no in betweens. Neutral is you better choose where you want to go.
It ain't no neutral.
It ain't no
It's either you
neutral. The
in or you
neutral
out.
is you better choose right now what direction you want to go, demonic or heaven. That's the neutral lane. You can't stay there because you're going to get consumed. Because the most high, he ain't got to work as hard because his shit is already written. The devil working, and he's strategic. So you better be more strategic than him. And how you gonna do that? Understanding the essence and crack the code on labels or limits, man. Take things for what it is because that's a bondage, man. Like some people will play on that because they're manipulators.
Yeah,
So
that's real tough. And even when you think about music, like how does the words in music or the labels in music program the mind? Like, you know.
because we already know music is a frequency. So So they already know certain labels and words or frequencies. We are rhythm. We are people of rhythm. So like once we jam out to certain things and say certain words, you're gonna start to, not all, but majority of people gonna start to consume what they hearing and they speaking. They're gonna do nigga shit. They're gonna do bad bitch shit. Um, if you speaking that, cause listen, man, it's I know a different artist, for example, Wiz Khalifa crowd is gonna be different than a Money Back Yo crowd, because of the words and the image and the frequency that he's portraying out. For example, drill rap. That's why I don't. I have a label. I'm not signed on your rappers that need to be banished. That's because it's a dark aura that drill rap created. It's death. So you understand what comes with it. Drill rap now, gangster rap. And if people don't be consuming, tell their story, cool. But don't, if you're really not in that, mislead. Don't mislead nothing, man. Just speak your truth. If you got a past to speak on, because everybody got a testimony. That's how we deliver each other in life. Testimony in music. Tell your story, but don't. For example, if you was a plug back in the day, tell your story, but don't say you still. I got 40 bricks now. Don't be in the present with it. Don't mislead. Tell your story, and it still be good music, because music is a frequency and it's actually the number one language in the world, man. So that's why the music, and it was also owned by, let's say, I'm quote unquote names. Let's say just names. It's all really, but let's just say names. We got to understand, before he got kicked out of heaven, he was one of the beautiful angels. Angels don't learn anything new. They just manipulate what they do. So when he became the devil, he just manipulated all the intelligence he had as an angel. So that's why you got to understand who he is. See, people be forgetting like he was once an angel who got kicked out. Just like if you got a child, he doing bad things, you're gonna kick him out, but you still love him. He's still our brother for real, y'all. He just ain't changed his ways because he's manipulating. And once you get consuming, you get a taste of that manipulation, it's hard to go back righteous because you know what you can do. So that's what's him, man. Music is he owned that realm. So that's why like I'm into the music, but I change the frequency of what I speak on because I understand the game. I still can hit them, but I don't want to do nothing with people who misleading. Like for example, you got rappers who say they don't do drugs, but they want to talk about it for what? Just for $1, so you'll sell your soul. So you really ain't got no integrity as a man because you will sell your soul for $1. Just to mislead. You just want that paper. You ain't really real. So music is deep, man. That's a whole nother genre. You can go in. There's a whole lot of cap shit going on in music. Um, but I understand people would just be tied up to labels and limits, man. Like I say, in the contract mind. So and it's really spiritual. So I ain't gonna go too deep in it because guess what? That's a whole nother segment we gonna speak on too. Because we can go deep. So and I want that another segment because that's yeah. I wanna, and we gonna actually have that one another episode of Original Guys. That's a special take when we get to the music realm. Because right now we're gonna keep the labels or limits, man. My brother just dropped that book and everything. And listen, I ain't could read this yet, but that's how my spirit operating. You absolutely know it's revelation. Listen, man, anybody who do music know when you hear certain beats, certain flow, you can flow. You can sometimes you have writer back on certain beats you can flow. This is one of them. I ain't read it, but I'm flowing, bro. Tap in, get this book. It's a life changing. And once you break the code, and once you master labels or limits, watch how much peace you have in your life, man. Triple for God, man. My brother got me back on, even though I'm cold. He set me down, and he let me, you know, give y'all the input on this, and I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Always, we locked in for life, and yeah, and even when like I was talking about, like, because labels are limits, embracing the essence of life. On the cover, it's a man staring out at a river, and he's on a mountain. You know what I mean? So that picture right there represent you just embracing the many different realms, variations of life, and just gasping in the ambience of life. When you gasp in the ambience of life, you don't look at nothing as a loss. You look at everything as a lesson, everything to learn from, and every experience that you have is something for you to gain.
Facts.
Whether it's good or bad. In reality, if you ask me, the worst things in my life helped me embrace the essence of life more. It helped me embrace the good things more in life, because when you get older, you become aware, you become conscious, and things of that nature. You start to realize, like, you start to realize, like, everything you went through negatively taught you something. You know what I mean? Because you can't be on the side of righteousness or good, or you won't know the importance of fighting for a righteous cause or a good cause
Facts.
if you didn't go through a lot of negative things.
Facts.
Why you think even like guys from, you know, the suburbs or out the way and things of that nature, they always want to be hood or ghetto or negative and things of that nature, because a lot of them have they see that certain lifestyle and they think it's cool. They think it's fun because um when you in survival mode, it it look fun because people try to make the survival mode cool. But the reality of it is, it ain't no good living that way. You feel me? So I'm saying, I like to say, when I'm talking about the people that's from the suburbs or whatever, who you know, they haven't went through these adverse experiences. So the fact that they haven't went through these adverse experiences, they don't know how to value living in a good environment. They don't know how to value being in a good environment because they have nothing to compare it to, or they haven't had nothing to grow from because they was living in a space of comfort all their life. And it's like, wait, as a man or a woman, like if you living in a space of comfort all your life, it's like it'll be hard for you to grasp the deeper aspects of life or the transformational aspects of life because you've been living in the cage all your life. And people grow by living outside of that cage. That's how you gain your mental strength. That's how you gain your spiritual strength. That's how you gain a more of a discerning eye when you go out here and cultivate the life or create the life you see fit. When you cultivate the life and create the life you see fit, that's how you gain your spiritual muscles. Because you going through life in these different trials and tribulations you go through in life, they add wisdom to your soul, and the more they add wisdom to your soul, the more you're able to look at life from an aerial perspective and not be so caught in the mundane trials, tribulations of the earthly realm of existence. Because when I'm talking about looking at it from an aerial perspective, when you go through different things and you have to learn from different things, the wisdom that make you look at things from above instead of attaching yourself on an individual basis to these different experiences. Because now that you go through different things, you got that wisdom, you're able to look at life and experiences and people from above instead of attaching yourself to them. You feel me? And that's what, the bird Horus, that's all about. It's all about our consciousness. You know what I mean? Like the consciousness we got it was given to us by the Most High. By our ancestors, by our Salafu, our overseers. And when I speak about overseers, the overseers are the different beings that created us as Nubians, melanated beings, or Africans. You know what I mean? So with that being said, Huru represents that divine consciousness we got, and our consciousness, that's the realm of our dreams. That's the realm of that's how we're able to receive downloads from higher sources and things of that nature. Because the head is the top. So the Haru represents that consciousness, and when you got consciousness, you're able to look at life from many different perspectives. And that represents being able to look at things from an aerial perspective. Because when you're able to see things from a broad perspective, that means you're able to see them from an aerial perspective. You see what I'm saying? Instead of looking at things from a personal perspective. That's why the Most High gave us a mind, a consciousness, so we can look at things from a higher perspective and not so much a personal perspective or a personal perspective. Because if we looked at everything from a person to person perspective or individualistic perspective, it's like that's living primitive. You feel me? That's why you've been given a divine mind, a nine-mind as Nubians, so you can tap into that higher consciousness, so you can live by way of the spirit and soul, so you won't be so attached to the physical reality, so you can step outside of physical reality and see things from the spiritual, you can see things from a early perspective or a higher perspective or extraterrestrial perspective, so you won't be so attached to the physical aspect.
That's because you're listen, man. Like I say, man, labels are limits. My brother, 999, God just dropped labels are limits, embracing the essence of life and breaking free from stagnant ideas. Living your truth. Living your truth, though, for real, because we already spoke on it. But and just this was listen, man. If you analyze this whole the illustrations, title, so you know, I ain't too keen on the language, man. But man, you get what I'm saying, dog. The Breaths of life, man. So you can get a whole revelation on the front page. The triple four, they already know how to get down, man. But listen, it's real raw uncut. Make sure y'all go get a copy of this for sure.
Yeah, man, and my brother, that was, man, you cooked on this episode. You cooked on this episode. I appreciate you getting on the triple four God breakdown, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate you giving on the triple four God breakdown, the triple four God perspective on what labels are limits, embracing the essence of life, meaning to you. And I appreciate you doing a great job being the co-host for the Original Guys Worldwide podcast. I appreciate you, and yeah, man, labels are limits, embracing the essence of life, break free from stagnant ideals, living your truth. You know, grab y'all copy of this book, Labels Are Limits, Embracing the Essence of Life. Grab y'all copy of that. You Are the Blueprint, knowing yourself so you can know your path. Triple four, the triple four God, the triple nine God, Supreme King, the God, triple four, Kingmaly 999, the God. You know, original gods, we out. Peace.